Yeah, certainly. Yeah, you got your screen.
Okay. I sorry. Lex already introduced myself, but my name is Sandro Pereira. I'm a BizTalk MVP, nowadays Azure MVP, and also a Visio MVP. I work in Portugal in a company called DevScope. And my main job is integration, working with BizTalk Server, API management, logic apps, and everything about messaging. You probably know me about the book that I wrote about mappings. I also have a blog, and that's it. Okay. So why did I choose again? Talk about flat file. Still is one of the most common formats of exchanging data. Very old, but still very used these days. And sometimes they simply drive me crazy with all of the structure, complexity, and all of the crazy idea that BizTalk developers does using BizTalk flat files. So I'm hoping to provide some insights, some new tips about flat files. And in the first talk that I gave, I talk about how we were able to remove headers from the beginning of the files. Just skip that first line that is trash, and keep the data without creating any custom component and so on. We also talk about suppress optional elements, not to show as a nil or empty string on this XML, and how to suppress empty lines at the end of the file, especially the enter that sometimes appears in the end of the file and others don't have the enter. So in this part 2, I will try to address how we can remove empty lines from anywhere. If the file contains an empty line in the middle of the file or at the end of the file, beginning of the file, how can we ignore that empty lines? How can I handle flat files, special positional flat files that doesn't have the length that we expect, so they end earlier than we expect? How can I deal with headers without removing headers and trailers? I will try to show you the default settings or features that BizTalk has to deal with headers and trailers. And do I need to create, because every time we create a flat file schema, we tend to create a custom pipeline to deal with that flat files. So do you really need to create 100 custom pipelines, different pipelines, just to convert a simple schema? Or can we create something like XML receive, some generic pipeline to deal with flat files? And all of these without creating, of course, custom components or adding additional code, developer additional code. Okay, just using the standard features of BizTalk. And yes, let's see the demos. I didn't bring too much slides. I want this to be very practical. samples and show you in Visual Studio. So let's switch to my virtual machine. Okay, just let me close some windows. Okay, the first is to suppress empty lines. Let me show you some of the samples that I have here. Oh, that's the port, sorry. Let me go to my folder. Integration Monday. Okay. So it's a very simple. It's the same scenario that I showed in the first session that I did 3 months ago. So sometimes we have this enter at the end of the line, at the end of the file. Sometimes we don't have enter, and sometimes I can have incorrect formats being delivered to BizTalk with empty lines in the middle. I already passed with these problems in several clients. We expect one thing, but when we arrive to production, they deliver another one. And we need to deal with, sometimes we need to deal with these mistakes from the source. So let me go to my schema, properties, and so I told in the last session that at the end of the line, to avoid that last enter, we just add to put this property allow message breakup at the infix root. Okay, so if we try with that file. Let me select. So with an enter, we see that if you try to convert that that instance of the message, it will transform correctly to an XML. If we try without any enter, you will see that it also do the trick, and it will convert correctly. Okay, if we change that property, of course, it will fail in some occasions. So if we try again, it will convert without the enter, but if we select the enter, it should fail. Of course, it failed because it expects the splitter that is dot. I don't know the name of the character in English. Sorry, this one. Okay. So let me change again. But in fact, if we have these properties, say to set up as yes, it also is smart enough to remove all the empty lines, even in the middle of the file. So if we now select that instance that has several lines and you validate, it will delete or ignore all the empty lines and just focus on the real data that is present in the flat file instance. But one of the other properties that and this I faced this problem in one of my last projects, was because we can receive, of course, flat files and convert to XML, but we also have the ability, and that nothing is new, what I'm going to tell, to generate, for example, a message inside an orchestration and convert to a flat file. So all of the rules of the flat file is you can use the schema on the receive location or in the send port. And there are some properties in the schema that some of them are used on the receive side, and some of the other and others are used on the send side of the schema. And there is one option that is to ignore empty, that I present in the slide, that is to ignore empty fields. So let me show you again the flat file instance. So this line has one of the fields that doesn't exist, that is the year of birth. I don't want to generate an element, an XML element for that field, because if it's a string, an empty string is allowed. If, in this case, it's an integer. And if I try to convert without ignoring these empty fields, it will fail on the validation, because an empty string is not an integer, of course. So I choose to ignore these empty fields, and the instance is something like this. So in this José Silva, the year, the birth year, doesn't appear. So what happens if I try to convert this XML with this empty, this optional element to a flat file again? Okay. And I faced this problem in one of my last projects. So let me check the optional field. Okay. I will put a flat file in a receive location. It converts to an XML, and then it converts again to the flat file. If I do that, I will see that this is not the file, or it is. Yes, it is. So I have the deployment incorrect. So again, let me deploy the correct. I was trying in the client before I came, and I forgot to deploy the correct version. So let's deploy this. Hope this quickly. Okay, there is something that is not okay. Used. Let me just restart. And while it's restarting, let me delete this from the folder. Bear with me 1 minute just to restart all the host instances. Okay, so if I try again, I hope now it works. And again, generate. So what I'm missing here? The flat file, schema, generate empty nodes. No. Yeah. So this works every time well, and now that I'm presenting, doesn't work. Welcome to the speaker nightmare. What is happening here? So let me check. Zip location, flat file to XML, and then send port XML to flat file. Wait a minute. Let me try to see if I can fix that. Otherwise, I will pass, explain, and pass forward to another one. It's very stupid, but let me delete this one. Let me see if I'm using the correct one. Yes, I'm using the correct one. Oh yeah, okay. Stupid me. Sorry guys, it's working. Too tired to see the obvious stuff that was in the file. Okay, it was working all the time. I just didn't see. So if I put the folder in the receive location, it will generate the output. That's correct. That's what I want to expect. But if you see the input, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, and in that line I only have 4. All of them are 5 except this one that is 4. So of course, if I send this message to the end system, it will fail validating that line because it expects one more field. Okay, and the problem was that someone that was trying to optimize the flat file just set up the generate empty nodes to no, and this property is used on the send side when there is an optional element on the XML that will, if it not exists, it will generate an empty flat file element on the instance. So if we set up yes, if we deploy again, okay, so restart again. So this is the source. This is the previous file that was generated. So now if I place the file again, I will see that my output now contains that empty element that should be there. Okay. Fortunately for us, this property by default is set as yes, but be careful when you change all of these advanced properties, because I will say that 97% of the rules are made using the flat file wizard. That little 3 or 5%, you need to use these properties that you cannot use on the wizard. But you need to be very careful when to change this, okay? Because some of them may affect the end result. So now, second demo, early terminations. So when dealing with positional flat files, when we select a line that contains X number of characters, all of these rules are placed in notation on the schema, and by default they need that number of characters. So if I say that the last element ends on the 100 characters or 120, it needs to have 120. If, for example, from some reason it doesn't have like this description, by default I need to have empty space there, or again by default will fail. Okay, let me don't save this. So but in fact sometimes we receive this type of files. No, if you see that one of the line ends earlier than what we expect. And again, we need to deal with these situations, and many people say that we need to create a custom pipeline component to deal with these situations, fix the file before it passes with the flat file disassemble, and so on and so on. And that's not really correct. For this case, for this particular scenario, let me close this one. This is not necessary anymore. We have properties that is early termination. Yes, early termination. So if we select that file and validate instance, it will fail because it's looking for additional characters in the file. Of course, if you use the correct file that is with all the structure there, it will convert without any problem. Okay, but he is expecting to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 characters at the end to get that last element. So if we set these early terminations to yes, sorry, it's not the optional elements, it's this one, sorry. allow early termination to yes, and we generate again. So the correct file, it works obviously with success. But if we select the file that has an empty termination, and if we now test, it will serialize to XML. It will transform to XML without any problem. Of course, this only happens in the end of in the last element. Otherwise, it will fail. So if in the first expect 4, it needs to have 4 to go to the second. It needs to respect that structure, but the last one can terminate early. Okay. So headers and trailers. Sometimes there are a lot of confusions about headers and the trailer of the message. So I took a sample. Provide also with a tutorial of Microsoft. I don't know if you are familiar with this message, but just for this demo, I choose to follow that tutorial of Microsoft. It has something like this: is a header, that is the location, this is a batch ID, and this are the actual errors that are happening. This is the tag, and this is the date. Okay, and the goal is to treat separately the header, the trailer, and the body of the message. And if you are familiar with the flat file disassemble component, it has 3 properties that you can set schemas. The document schema, the body of the message, of course, the header of the schema, and the trailer of the schema. Okay? So in this case, if you want to use these properties, let me create a simple solution. New project. Yeah, okay, next. We need to create 3 schemas, different schemas. Okay. We don't need to create an envelope or so on. You just need to create 3 schemas, 3 flat file schemas, and let's say one is the header. And next, so you see the familiar wizard, and select the message. Let's say this is header again. And next, and in this case, I want to select the first line, because the first line is the header. Next, and this is my location. It is a string. Next, and finish. So I add the header. You need to create the body. Add new body. Next, same message, errors. Let's call body. Next, and of course you just want to select these 2 lines and say delete by symbol and enter. This is a repeating record. You just need to ignore the rest. This is an error. And next. And now it's symbol again, it's a pipe, and as a tag identifier error, because I want to remove this string. And of course, I have the ID, the type, the priority, sorry, the description, and the occurrence state. And let's say everything is a string, and next, and finish. And now the only thing that we need is the header, the trailer. And the same and this is the last one, and say next, enter, and this is the batch, maybe, okay, and finish. So I have to create these three flat file schemas, and at the end I need to create a custom pipeline. It's a send pipeline, receive pipeline, receive or send, whatever. That as a flat file, and of course define these three schemas: document schema, that is the body, the header, and the trailer. Okay. And again, deploy and try. So I just create this solution for you to show how you can create this. But in fact, I already have this create here. And I create two pipelines, one from receive, one for send, with the same configuration. Both of them have the document, the header, and the trailer. And the goal here is, for example, to have an orchestration that receives the body and can access to the header of the message and the trailer of the message separate. Okay. So as I see, I receive the body of the message. I will send the body to a folder. I will try to get the header document of the message, and for curiosity, I try to get the trailer of the message. For example, I try only to try. Let's see if it works or not. And I generate a new message based on the received message, to create a new message with a body, header, and a trailer. Okay. Just to see how it works. So let me go here to my demos. Let me, don't have nothing. So I have here receive location, receive the files, it's bind to the orchestration, and there is a body, then a trailer, and a new flat file with errors, to see what kind of message I can deal in the orchestration. And if I place this, I will expect to have 4 files there. But in fact, I already have 3. Okay, it's missing the trailer, and there is a logic there. Of course, you cannot access the trail of the message in the receive location. That a property on the receive location will only allow you to remove the trailer from the message, separate, but unfortunately you cannot access to that trail, only to the header, and you need to select perceives header. If you say that false, if we try again, let me refresh. If I set this to false, this will fail. I will have an error here saying that I cannot access to the header because there is no property flat file header document. This property is only created when we have this option preserve header to true, but unfortunately we don't have any preserved trailer. Okay, so this will, in the receive location, this will only divide the structure and remove that trailer from the message. Okay. Now I had curiosity to understand how it works on the send. So we have the trailer, the document, and the header. But again, on the orchestration, I don't have any property per se to create that header document as I can create the flat file. Okay. So if you see that output from the first message, I have here the same header because I'm just copying one header from to the other. I have the same body because I'm copying the exact body, but I have a different trailer. A trailer that I didn't specify here. What I did was on the trailer, the default batch ID, the default value, I set the Sandro Pereira. So there are two ways to generate a trailer from the orchestration. You can use the default value, or you can use property demotion from the message context to create that batch ID. So it's not quite simple. If you want to use this header and trailer features of BizTalk, default features. So for me, if you want to, in an orchestration, access to the header, the trailer, or the body, of course, if you want to debug the errors, you need to create a custom pipeline component for that. If you want to treat as a unique message, the best approach, the easy approach, is to create a simple flat file schema without dividing headers and trailers. Just put everything on the same context, and it will work perfectly. Okay. And just to demystify this header and trailer approach of BizTalk. And the last demo that I bring for today is create a flat file, generic flat file pipeline. So I had a previous project that have the entire project is based on flat files, and I had probably 100 120 flat file schemas, and at the same time I have 120 pipelines for dealing with that flat file schemas. It was a project that I was migrating for a previous solution, BizTalk version to 2013 R2, and it was a little nightmare about artifacts doing the same and the same and the same stuff. So if you try to create, let me delete these. If you try to create a pipeline, a flat file pipeline, and place a flat file disassemble there. If you want to deploy, let's say, let's try to deploy these, and to deploy I need to sign. And of course, demo1. And if we try to deploy, it will fail because the flat file disassemble needs to have a schema. You need to provide a schema to that disassemble. So you need to go to the properties and define a document schema here. Okay, it's mandatory. So what the approach that I did was I just set as one of the schemas that BizTalk already have, the xlang base type any. So I just select that one just to be allowed to deploy that schema, okay, that pipeline. So if you select that one, and if you try to deploy again, you'll be allowed to deploy that pipeline. So I just want to deploy that pipeline, and in runtime or using the admin console, define the message that I want to receive and to process. Okay. So let me go to my demo folders. I have this the same message that I processed earlier, but this time I create a generic receive location that let me remove that configuration from the pipeline. So if I choose my generic, I call it default flat file, but the generic. If I go there, you notice that I have the xlang base type any that, of course, I set up in Visual Studio. But now I can, for example, use this nomenclature that is the file that I want to process, the flat file schema that I want to process, with a comma and then the namespace. And if I take this string and set up here, say OK, apply, OK, I can now, let me, no, I don't have nothing, in and process, out, there you go. I have my one, my instance convert to XML. And if I take, for example, another one, let's say the positional, I just need to go, what I normally do is go here and go to the positional employee. I copy this first line and comma, and then again copy the assembly, and copy the entire line, and go back to my receive location, generic, and if I set now to this one, okay, in I have the same pipeline processing a different instance of the flat file, a different flat file. So what is the advantage here? I only deploy one artifact, like the XML receive pipeline that is generic, and I can use it in all of my projects if I want. So I just need to create a global application, and then the same as the system. Of course, I cannot deploy to the system, so I need to create a global components that I have, for example, here, that I have my my pipelines. I don't know if I have pipelines there, but I normally deploy, I remove all the stuff from the global, no worries. But I use normally this application to deploy all my global artifacts, and then I just need to go to my others BizTalk application and add a reference to that global. And then I can use that everywhere that I want. I don't need to deploy all these same artifacts. Of course, if I want to convert, validate, and other stuff like that, then I need to probably create I can create a generic and do all of this stuff there, or in some case, if I want to have several components inside one pipeline, I need to create, of course, in that situation, custom pipelines. But I am avoiding to create everything the same stuff again and again and again, okay? And I love BizTalk. I will continue to talk about BizTalk, despite I'm working a lot with Azure and other stuff like that, but BizTalk is here to stay. We expect more versions of BizTalk, and I will continue to talk about BizTalk. I will be in Integrate US talking about optimization of BizTalk. If you are there, I hope to see you in that event. It will be great. And thank you. These are my contacts, and if you have questions, I am here to help or try to help.
Okay, thank you, Sandro. Yeah, another great session, but well, it's what we use from you, so.
Thank you, Alex.
Let me. Yeah.
I will be again in Integration Monday in, I think, next month. I'm correct, Lex, to talk about.
Yeah, I don't have that on top of my head. I have to check that out. Let me see if we can.
I will be here again talking about evaluation forms, logic apps,
Exactly.
OCR, and Power BI.
Yeah, I don't have that on top of my head. I have to check the diary and go. Oh, you know what? I can easily do that.
Yeah, just go to the site.
So.
Go to the
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, no, you're right. You are presenting, so I can easily go to the site.
I can go there.
Has it been already published? Logic apps. Yeah,
Yes.
that will be the 16th of October. Yeah, exactly.
Evaluation forms, OCR, logic apps, Power BI.
Power BI. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, yeah, well, that will just be another fun session.
That will be a fun session.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay, let me check if we have any questions so far.
I cannot see the chats, so if there
no,
is
you're right. I can help you with that. Where is it? 10 days I have to go there. Yeah, I can make you an organizer. And when you are an organizer, you're also able to view the questions window and the chat window. But it's it's quite rather quiet in that area. So I think you explained everything quite clearly, and nobody just has questions. Yeah, but things occur.
No worries. Or I was very good or very bad. So one of the two.
Well, everybody stayed, so I think you were very good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, if it stays that quiet, it doesn't make sense to keep people up. And yeah. Well, it's a nice time. 8:30 here at your place as well, of course.
And in first hand, you know that I normally contribute a lot in the community. So I'm working with a new installation guide, multi-server installation guide that will be soon available.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm working with a Rosetta Net installation guide and a host integration installation guide.
Okay,
so expect 3 new white papers very soon.
Yeah, okay, very well. Yeah, we discussed it about the server installation document before, but currently you are working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, well, looking forward. Yeah, we had another plan, and that was on creating a PowerShell script to set up always on in Azure.
That will be nice.
That is, that would be a very nice one. Bit complicated, but that's okay. We've got some skills, so well, it might take some time, but it might work.
I will probably need to talk with the SQL guys because
that might just be necessary. Yeah. But well, we got a couple of guys who are who have some experience. On top of my head, Mark Brimble has worked on it. And yeah, maybe some other people as well. I don't know it on top of my head, but yeah, like I said, at least Mark Brimble has worked on it. So, well, if needed, we can always make it a real community project, and just create some kind of script for that purpose. That would be that would be a great thing.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I think it's all. Don't see any questions, so thank you guys, and see you in October.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I'll send you another email about Gas Bloggers Tuesday if you're interested to join that initiative.
It's on my list to reply, but currently too occupied.
Just teasing. No, I know you're busy, so it's okay. But well, we are just starting that initiative, and we have a couple of blogs from you still to publish. So we wanted to have that articles.
Yes, for me, so I really don't care. You can publish, no problem. So.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Yeah, this also what I expected. But well, at first I wanted to have contact about it with you. But well.
I write in a guest blog in BizTalk 360. So if you want to publish in 360 or in Service Bus 360, it's fine for me. No worries.
Exactly. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for this. So we just move forward with it, and I'll send you an email about the frequency, that kind of stuff, and then we'll be good.
Okay, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks again. Say bye to your wife, and we'll meet again, Sandro.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you next week. Bye bye.